Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm James and you're watching Blue Dog Reptiles. Today we have someone helping me run the camera because I wanted to talk to you about Belle. Now, if you don't know, Belle is a blue-eyed Lucy, also known as a leucistic snake or also known as a white snake. These guys have so many different names, but that's not actually why we're here today. We're actually here today to talk about some of the issues that can happen with Belles. Now, I have a little cheat sheet here, so don't judge me because I want to make sure that I'm talking about the correct morphs. And it's how to actually create a leucistic snake. Now, blue-eyed Lucies get their names because of, guess what? Their blue eyes. Leucistic means white snake, and this is a ball python. So this girl is actually about 5 years old, and as you can see, she's so cute. All right, guys. So, like I said, cheat sheet, don't judge me, but here we are. So, the super lesser, super butterfly, butter lesser are the ones that we're going to talk about today. Because one of the issues with leucistic snakes is sometimes when they're born, they can have bulgy eyes. That is where their eyes protrude out. So you see how on her eyes go straight down. With a snake that has a bulgy eye, it'll actually, well, bulge out. Those morphs that I listed off are actually some of the main culprits that can have those bulge eye effects. Does it affect the snake? It depends from case-to-case basis on whether or not it's going to affect the vision of the snake itself. But yeah, something to think if you're going to breed ball pythons. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about too is, well, some controversy that has happened with Lucies. And that's because people are like, well, because they're a white snake, are they more susceptible to cancer, to skin cancer? Because they have white pigmentation skin. So think about it like albino dogs or leucistic animals. Yes, of course, they're going to be more fair skinned. Does that mean that they are more susceptible to getting cancer or sunburns? No. There has been no proven study that this snake has higher chances of getting cancer than any other ball python. That is a complete myth. Yes, I do not recommend sitting outside with a white snake and going, are you going to burn? No, don't do that. But that is something to keep in mind, that yes, your snakes can get sunburned if they are exposed to the sun too much. Now, the reason why people think that it's just Lucies that get burned is because of their light pigmentation. And so when they get pink from a burn, it's going to be a lot more visible on a white snake versus a black or a dark snake. So keep that in mind. That's a myth. Now, one of the issues that I actually have dealt with personally with blue-eyed Lucies is bloat. Now, if you don't know what bloat is, in order to get the white genetics to make a leucistic snake, sometimes they have to inbreed to create a higher, more high contrast white snake or a high contrast leucistic. Now, in doing so, a couple of faults can happen in the genetic code. One of those being that their vent, kids, if this is education, but if you are sensitive about looking at a snake that's vulnerable, look away. But, so we have the vent right here. What happens when these guys are born and they are babies is the vent does not, or also known as the cloaca, doesn't fully develop. And what happens is so normally it should be very tight. That way it holds in their waist and everything like that. And then when they have to go to the bathroom, well, it expands and that happens. When a leucistic snake actually has bloat issues, their cloaca isn't fully developed. Well, I mean, it's developed, it just doesn't have the tightness. And in doing so, anytime they go to take a bath or you soak them because they're going through shed, what happens is they'll actually absorb all of that water through their cloaca and they expand. They look like a big balloon. Now what happens after that is over time with them moving around and everything, they push all that water back out, and you have what's called pyramiding, where it looks like they're a big bag of bones because they pushed out all that extra moisture. Now, is it something to worry about? No. This is something that every leucistic snake that I personally dealt with from birth has grown out of. Now, it is something that you will have to watch and be more mindful of if your leucistic snake has these traits. And this isn't just with ball pythons. This is with any leucistic snake. It is just more prominent in ball pythons. Typically, they grow out of it once they hit about 250 to 300 grams. And so, yes, it can be like, come on, hit that 250 so I can stop dealing with this issue. Yes, it is troublesome, and typically if they deal with the bloat issue, they go through some very rough sheds. And the problem is because they're going through such a rough shed, because they look like a bag of bones, you want to soak them. But then when you soak them, then that problem of the bloat happens again, and it's just a big cycle of headache. So keep that in mind. There are other ways of just running cloths, wet washcloths over the snake to help it remove shed, so that way you're not soaking itself. And then typically if your leucistic snake is going through bloat issues, don't give it a big water dish that it can fit its whole body in. Give it something small that it can still drink water, but can't cram its whole body, especially its cloaca. And fun fact, did you know that snakes have belly buttons? I know, weird fact, right? All right, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something new today, let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.